15 to 34 subscribers? You homies and dudes are wild. Thanks for the support, guys, but let's get right into the video. Last we left off, I was being peeled off the floor after falling 40 feet and smashing into it, and we were headed off asteroid. Before you ask, no, I was not out of commission for an extended period of time. My character has these little nanobots in his body called metagenes, which essentially help you heal faster. So the couple of days of space travel that it took to get to the rendezvous point with Firewall, which was on Mars, by the way, by the time we got there, I was almost healed. I still couldn't walk, but I was close. The rendezvous point in question was the guy's house. I don't remember the name of the city. It was on Mars somewhere. We docked the ship took off back to the guy we rented it from, because that's usually how it works, and we went on our way to the house. As we made our way into the guy's house, we were greeted by our representative for Firewall. I do not remember his name at all, so we're going to call him Horus. Horus was a tall, dark-skinned man who had a bald head, and he adorned himself in more Egyptian-style garbs and jewelry. He was just in the guy's house, you know, helping himself to his food, and was waiting for us to show up. He gave us the rundown on why my presence was requested to meet with Firewall to begin with, and also explained who the guards who were chasing us were. The easiest way I can think to explain it, the people chasing us were kind of loss prevention for Smith and Western. Informed us more than likely they would be chasing us for some time, since, you know, I have some information about the company that they work for, and they kind of wanted back. I clued him in that I had no idea where the information was whatsoever. I wiped my memory quite a few years back, I informed him. Showed him the clip that I'd left myself where I'd wiped my memory and so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. To my surprise, he had already seen it, and then told me the possible location of where I'd left a backup. The location was somewhere in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. The location was currently inhabited by a cult who was using the book as some form of holy text. He said we needed to retrieve said holy text before someone else grabbed it and it fell into the wrong hands. He then got up, said he'd be in touch, and left. So with that, we had our first mission. Had 1 or 2 days before we ended up going and actually doing the mission, because, you know, I still couldn't walk. On the day that I could finally get around by myself, I called in a favor with one of the various bigger gangs that I had some pull with. I rolled my criminal networking, which is just essentially your standing within the criminal world and exactly how much pull you actually have. I was calling up some contacts because we needed a ship. And I rolled pretty damn high, and they gave me a fairly nice ship. They said give them about an hour and the ship would be down in dock 1632. I told the team that I got a ship. They were in the middle of planning. I was like, I'm gonna go check out the ship, and I just kind of left. I took a leisurely stroll through the city, made my way across, got to the ship, bam, got inside, made myself at home, and started making some sandwiches. Unbeknownst to me, my DM was rolling through my entire leisurely stroll to see how many cameras I ran into, if I ran into any of the loss prevention from Smith and Western, since, you know, they're actively looking for us. And by some cosmic luck, I managed to avoid them and all the cameras, just strolling through the city. On the other hand, however, while I'm locked inside the ship making sandwiches, the team hears a knock on the door while they're planning. They go to look for the people, and it's loss prevention, who had actually found us. They end up getting into a whole fight, and as a distraction, Guy sicks his robot dogs on the guards, and they make a mad dash for the ship.
However, I never told them which dock the ship was at.
They're making a mad dash to the docks, loss prevention close behind, and they finally get a hold of me. They're like, tell us where the ship is docked at. You never told us where it was. I'm over here like, what? I thought we weren't leaving for a couple of days. I'm making sandwiches and everything. That goes on for a little bit. I eventually tell them where the dock is. As they're running, they make their way down, and as they're closing in on dock 1632, there's just 2 individuals standing out front. They're nicely dressed in these nice red suits. They're both matching. One is a larger male. He's a bit stockier. He has some muscle on him. He has like a low haircut. The other one is a female who's very beautiful, and she's a little bit shorter than he is. He did pull in front of the guards quite a bit, so they have a little bit of time, so they end up stopping because the individuals are directly in front of the dock before they can go in. They end up talking to them, and they introduce themselves as Smith and Western. They hand them a card and say, "Give us a call. We need to talk." Next episode will be uploaded on Friday. I'm trying to go for more of like a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday schedule, so more than likely for the stories it'll be like 3 times a week. Unless something comes up, obviously. Either way, thanks for all the support, homies and dudes. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Jar of Wizard. I also have a Tumblr with the exact same handle. And that about wraps up the video. You know, like, comment, share it with your best friend Thomas. I don't know. You guys have a nice day. Bye.